Yeah. Ingoma phela ezitshayelwa nguThemba Ndlovu. Yabo ngabele ngabele njani abele khona kunazo zonke zelizwe. My name is Yamacha Commander. Hello, Tete Colombo. How are you, my mommy, my sister, my everything? How are you guys? How are you folks in all parts of the world? My name is Yamacha Commander Pelopsimanda. Today I'm not here to spend a long time. I'm here just for a short live broadcast. Right today, guys. You know what? I'm going to get a lot of sticks from a lot of people. But let me be honest with you. I love it. That's a challenge. That's what I love, to have a challenge and enjoy with a lot of friends. I love it because it's part of our job to get a lot of sticks. But today, the topic is not a massive topic. We just want to hear those people who have got the knowledge of Joshua Nkomo, Ubaba Unyongolo. You know what? Joshua Nkomo, we were young. I was young when Joshua Nkomo was doing wonders in Zimbabwe. But you know what? Some few weeks ago, I put an image of another politician in Zimbabwe, just comparing to Joshua Nkomo. I got some sticks. Oh, you know what? If it wasn't Philip Sibanda, I'm telling you that person was going to even get some death threats, because the way the guys, some were sending me some email messages on my inbox and say, Philip, we respect you, but the comparison of what you have done to Joshua Nkomo towards, you know what? So I want to ask genuine Zimbabweans, who was Joshua Nkomo? What type of a person was he? And let's just say if Joshua Nkomo was given a chance to be the president of Zimbabwe, what sort of Zimbabwe was he going to make? What sort of a country was Zimbabwe going to be? Because the way people speak about Joshua Nkomo, I'm telling you, why did I bring Joshua Nkomo today is because I think it's gone over 20 years since he died. So I decided myself to bring Joshua Nkomo because I haven't seen anyone except the people just talking on social media. I haven't seen people even going to Joshua Nkomo's family to go and say, right, today is the day we are remembering. But it has got nothing to do. I mean, that's not put pressure on other people. Let's talk on our own. Who was Joshua Nkomo? What sort of a person was he? Educate us, thina bantwana, sifundiseni ukuba nakathi yena ubaba uJoshua Nkomo wayengumuntu onjani. That's why I wish there was a museum in Zimbabwe whereby we can learn things like this. Izinto ezinjengabo our leaders abanjengabo Joshua Nkomo, izinto ezinjengabo Gukurahundi, izinto ezinjengempi yeZimbabwe. We should have the knowledge of what happened, because me as a young boy growing up, I would love to know what sort of a person he was Joshua Nkomo. Kanti yena ubaba uJoshua Nkomo wayengumuntu onjani? Baba Joshua Nkomo nongozwa abantu bose bathi ukuthi ayenze Father Zimbabwe. Everybody wathi Father Zimbabwe. So why did Joshua Nkomo not rule Zimbabwe? What happened? What made Robert Mugabe to take over? I don't know, not take over. You won the election anyway. But how come? Because when I was reading a lot, even when now if was given a chance, there will be no division that we expect. Thank you very much, Mbongeni Swazi. You are the first one to write a comment here, guys. I'm not staying here long. I'm not making this topic more than 30 minutes. If people want to contribute, let's contribute now for the next 30 minutes. I am hearing a lot of things about Ubaba Joshua Nkomo. I would love to interview the children of Joshua Nkomo. I would love to interview the children maybe of ZAPU, former children of ZAPU, so that they can tell us how Joshua Nkomo was. Nankama message it shows that people knew. You know what? I enjoy when I see a lot of people commenting about our topic. But those who don't want to comment, you can stay home. We are talking about a legend. We are talking about Father Zimbabwe today. So today I give you the chance. If you want to come in for 5 minutes to come and tell us how Joshua Nkomo was, come in. Who was this Father Zimbabwe? Me, I was a young boy. But whenever everyone, it doesn't matter whether you're coming from Chikombedzi, whether you're coming from Tirete, whether you're coming from Sabe, whether you're coming from Emakumeni, whether you're coming from Filabus, whether you're coming from Enkai, everywhere. When I talk about Joshua Nkomo, Philip, that man was a father, Father Zimbabwe. I saw a message from the president of Zimbabwe today, a fantastic message coming from the president of Zimbabwe today, Mr. Emmerson Mnangagwa. Saying, what a leader Joshua Nkomo was. Then later on, I saw a message coming from a young man, Nelson Chamisa, as well, saying Father Zimbabwe. But me and Nelson Chamisa, I think we are a bit younger to know more, unless probably if we have read the books about Joshua Nkomo. Who was this Joshua Nkomo? Yena ubaba yena lo okhuluywa kamnandi kangaka okuthiwa ngubaba uJoshua Nkomo wayengubaba onjani? Wayengubaba onjani? I want to hear from you guys. Right, let me read some comments. Joshua Nkomo was the father of the nation. Just that most people abakubonanga esaphila because of the tribe eyadlala lapho. Guys, the number of people who are watching this program is unbelievable. Never mind, me, I have got the actual number of people watching. So to see 2 comments or 3 comments, I want to say now, I would rather not even attempt to talk about a program when people, they don't want to contribute in such an important topic. Father Zimbabwe, Baba Joshua Nkomo. Bonke abantu bakhuluma ngaye, bonke abantu bakhuluma ngobaba uJoshua Nkomo. Well, sorry, let me reduce the volume here. I'm listening to myself. Bonke abantu bakhuluma ngobaba uJoshua Nkomo bathi wayengubaba Zimbabwe. Ngubaba Zimbabwe. Why babesithi baba Zimbabwe? I want to know as a kid growing up ukuthi kathi bona kwakuthiwa ngubaba Zimbabwe. Why babembiza ubaba Zimbabwe? Because I haven't heard, even wherever you go, I've heard people calling Nelson Mandela in South Africa names. I've heard people calling Robert Mugabe names. But I haven't heard any Zimbabwean talking about Joshua Nkomo bad. Ithi udlala ingqondo ngoba nguye owambulalayo ubaba. Hey! angikwazi madoda le angisoze ngiyekele ukubala ama-comments abantu because abantu bale-freedom of expression, so I cannot avoid the people's comments as long as they are not insulting. So guys, I saw a comment from Emerson Mnangagwa today. Sorry, I cannot pronounce the actual name, but Emerson Mnangagwa is our president of the country. You know what? I saw a lovely message coming from the president of the country. You know what? Talking about Joshua Nkomo. Fantastic message. I could have loved to talk to Emerson Mnangagwa today because the way he spoke about Joshua Nkomo was something else. I saw a message from my young boy, Nelson Chamisa, talking about Joshua Nkomo today. Massive, massive. I saw some other, leaders talking about Joshua Nkomo. So, can I ask you people, who was this father Zimbabwe? Ngubani ubaba lo abantu abakhuluma kamnandi kangaka yonke indawo lapho uhamba khona ungabala amabhuku bathi ngufather Zimbabwe, ubale yonke into bathi father Zimbabwe. So who was this father Zimbabwe? Who was this father Zimbabwe? Gentlemen, if you don't want to contribute about this, I will end the topic. I will end the topic. I'll just give you a teaser. I'll just put it in your mouth and take it out. If you don't want to contribute, I'm not going to force people to come and talk. This topic, I think, is very important. It's very important. Why is it so important? It's important for our children. It's important for our grandchildren. This topic will live in our lives for a long, long, long time. So, who was this father Zimbabwe? Ngubani ubaba lo abantu bonke abakhuluma kamnandi kangaka ukuthi ubaba uJoshua Nkomo, ubaba uJoshua Nkomo. Uzwa abantwana besithi father Zimbabwe, father Zimbabwe, father Zimbabwe, father Zimbabwe. But my question is, what happened to Joshua Nkomo? Why did he rule the country? Because you know what? We had a lead, we had our president, Mr. Robert Mugabe. But you know what? The amount of people talk about Joshua Nkomo, comparing to Mugabe is unbelievable. So why ubaba Mugabe engakhulunywa ngendlela okwakhulunywa ngoJoshua Nkomo? Me, I was young. I don't want to lie to you. I was young. I was very, very young. I mean, when I was very young, I don't want to lie to you. I don't know much about Joshua Nkomo. I don't want to lie. I don't want to claim lies. I don't know much about Joshua Nkomo. I was a kid by the time. But my mothers, our fathers, they tell us about Philip. That man was unbelievable. I read a book about Joshua Nkomo. You know what? I read about what happened to him. The things happened to Joshua Nkomo, unbelievable. But for those who have got the knowledge of Joshua Nkomo, I would love to hear from you. Who was this man everyone talks about? Even, the people born in 90s. People born, I think he died in 1999, you see. But the people died, people born in 90s, they talk about Joshua Nkomo, say, Father Zimbabwe, but they never saw him. So why? Why is it people they talk so well about Joshua Nkomo? What good did he bring to people? What happened for him not to be the leader of Zimbabwe? What happened? Because I was, I did a research before I did this. I saw the president Mugabe when ZAPU was fighting ZANU-PF. Is it ZAPU fighting ZANU-PF? Mugabe was boiling, saying we are going to kill him. And then I think Joshua Nkomo, he ran away. He went to Britain. He was fearing for his life. There was a story I read that he ran away wearing a dress. Those are the things we want to hear. You know what? It's nice, good memories. And then when I read about those things, I would love to hear to those people who managed to see Joshua Nkomo, the people who managed either who went to in the army, in the army, Joshua Nkomo, or because, guys, the amount of things I read about Joshua Nkomo when I was doing a research, unbelievable. Unbelievable. There was another one which I listened to when he was talking. Oh my goodness. You know what, guys? There is another one. I heard him talking. Joshua Nkomo himself. He was saying, if I can find it, this one here. Let me see if I can find this one here. This is what I heard from him. Listen to this. Listen to this.
It's free and independent. The priority is now nation building, social and economic progress. We cannot move forward if we are divided. We have to work as a nation together. Zimbabwe has people of various colors, but they are one. They speak different languages, but they are one. They have different backgrounds, but they are one. Once we all understand that, once we give our best to our country, Zimbabwe is a wonderful country. We have resources. We have natural resources. We have human resources as are not known in many countries. And therefore, it is us, the people of Zimbabwe, who should come together and see that Zimbabwe progresses. The most important thing in that progress is to see that there is peace and tranquility. Peace and tranquility. The observance of the rule of law. The return to our people that peace that they require for developing their country. To be able to do so, our law enforcing agencies must be free. The army and the police must not be interfered with. They have their powers given them by the constitution of the country. No government must try and interfere with those powers. It is not necessary, therefore, to have the police answerable to political parties.
That was the late Joshua Nkomo. That was a fantastic speech by the late Joshua Nkomo. When I listened to this message, that's when I decided to bring such a topic. You know, when I listen to this man, I ask myself, what happened to Zimbabwe? What really happened to Zimbabwe? When I listen to him. There's another one here.
Colors, but they are one. They speak different languages, but they are one. They have different backgrounds, but they are one. Once we all understand that, once we give our best to our country, Zimbabwe is a wonderful country. We have resources. We have natural resources. We have human resources as are not known in many countries. And therefore, it is us, the people of Zimbabwe, who should come together and see that Zimbabwe progresses. The most important thing in that progress is to see that there is peace and tranquility. Peace and tranquility. The observance of the rule of law. The return to our people that peace that they require for developing their country. To be able to do so, our law enforcing agencies must be free. The army and the police must not be interfered with. They have their powers given them by the constitution of the country. No government must try and interfere with those powers. The army has its job to safeguard the security of the country, especially along the borders. The police have their job to see that there is peace and tranquility among the citizens of Zimbabwe. It is not necessary, therefore, to have the police answerable to political parties. If the police have been and the army have been interfered with to this day, as we, as ZAPU, are certain.
Guys, you know, for those who managed to watch Joshua Nkomo speaking, when you listen to such words, Joshua Nkomo speaking, imagine when this man was given chance to be the leader of Zimbabwe. I've got another one here. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. This one is not playing. Just give me a chance. If Joshua Nkomo was given a chance to be the leader of Zimbabwe, do you think Zimbabwe could have been where it is right now? Sorry, guys, don't take this politically or whatever. We are just talking about the history of Joshua Nkomo. You know, when I listen to him saying our forces must stay away from politics, they must protect the citizens.
Our army is not a Salvation Army. It's not a Salvation Army. You beat the drums and all the churches. It is there to defend.
Can you come? Chips. 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 That was Joshua Nkomo there. He is talking about the army. The army should support the people, not protect the people. Let's go back. If no one wants to come in, I'll end the broadcast, no problem. But one thing I don't want to hear people saying next time, Joshua Nkomo, I want to hear from you all. Who was this man called Baba Zimbabwe, Father Zimbabwe? Linzisa ubuhlungu hlobo zami, munoni raza zikuru kuthi sure, you know what? If I bring someone naked, a woman naked here, you will all comment, you put some comments. But when I talk about someone who could have changed your lives, you ignore, never mind. I'm trying to look for another one. When he was talking about, there's another one here. Joshua Nkomo. Just 1 second here. I wanted to come and do a live broadcast about Joshua Nkomo's life, but it looks like no one wants to get involved. And I feel so emotional when I talk about Joshua Nkomo on my own. When people say they want us to talk about who was this Joshua Nkomo, and it pains me a lot. My brothers who fought the struggle to bring independence in Zimbabwe. I spoke to some few guys who went to fight the war in Zimbabwe to bring independence. And when I said I was bringing this topic, they were all, Philip, what a fantastic topic. I don't do a topic with 5 people. I don't do a topic with 5 people. Joshua Nkomo, as I read about him, I expect people to concentrate and talk about Joshua Nkomo. It's a very sensitive topic, touching topic. I expect people to come in and talk. Who was this Joshua Nkomo? We want our grandchildren to know. This video will stay. Even if I leave this world, this video will be on social media. This video will be there, recorded there. So we wanted to hear people who knows about who Joshua Nkomo was. People who grew up in Zimbabwe. People who can tell us the struggle of Zimbabwe from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, until now. When I read about Joshua Nkomo was against a lot of things to Mugabe. Joshua Nkomo, when I read about Joshua Nkomo, he wasn't happy with the way the land issue was distributed by Robert Mugabe. He wanted land to go to the people, but he wanted the land to be distributed equally. That's what I read about him. He wanted land to be distributed to Zimbabweans equally. I read the story where Joshua Nkomo was saying, Musaroba, in Shona, you must stop this thing of saying Pasinaningi, Pasinaningi. I think I can find it. I was reading on his book. Let me try and get it. Let me try and find it. It pains me a lot. So who was he? I can see some comments. No comments to comment today. My brother, really, I don't know, Mr. Nkomo. Opportunist lost. Oh, I'm an opportunist is lost. Yeah, he wanted a land to be distributed fair and equal. Yes, I read about that. I read about he wanted. Hello, Tatenda. How are you, Sonny? I read, you know, that he never called any tribe. He said the people of Zimbabwe were Zimbabweans.
Tribes, because if you talk of Shona and the Ndebele, these are not tribes. These are collection of tribes.
They speak different languages.
It's a variation of languages, but it is not correct to say Shona and Ndebele are 2 tribes.
Is there a danger that the divide, whether it's tribal or political or otherwise, in this election could have the seeds in it of a sort of even a fighting between you and the rest of the country?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that there would be fighting, and if there is a fighting, it would not be based on tribe or any divide of that kind. It appears one would say this in the face of it, but I do not think so. You have got to consider that our party, ZAPO, which is Patriotic Front now, is not a tribal party. 90% of the members of the executive are what you call the Shona, the group of tribes under this terminology. So I don't think it is correct that one would say the consideration was of tribe, considering the setup of the executive.
Are you still very bitter at the campaign that Mr. Mugabe waged?
I never was bitter. That's one thing I don't have. Why do you think so?
You appeared at one stage, a number of stages, to be referring to him as Idi Amin. I know you didn't mention him by name, but you did mention that Idi Amin was campaigning in Rhodesia.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say Idi Amin was campaigning. I said if there are people who compel you by force, who want to get votes out of you by compulsion, then you must be careful that you do not elect an Idi Amin.
Who were you referring to?
I refer to people who did. It was not just one person. I'm not going to say those things. It was not just one person. It was not just one party. There were two or so parties that were doing that.
Well, whatever you felt at the time, what do you feel about Mr. Mugabe now? Will you join his government?
Well, that depends on our negotiations. We're going to talk about this.
But would you like to?
Well, it's not a question of liking.
He'd like you to.
Well, I don't think it's just like it. It's the consideration of the importance of that arrangement in as far as the national affairs are concerned. So it's not a question of liking to, it's a question as to whether it would be to the national interest.
If he asked you to be president of the new Zimbabwe, would you accept? Why not?
A constitutional president really is an inactive job. Very inactive. I'm not the type of person who would sit there for just this constitutional figurehead. That type of thing.
So it's got to be a ministerial job?
I suppose so, yes.
What sort of job?
We're going to discuss that.
Finally, what sort of change would you particularly like to see in this country as soon as possible?
Well, the most important change in this country is that of our people recognizing themselves as one. What I mean is this: we have been divided into racial groups, white people, black people, so that all that was different, and be it in economic life, be it in ordinary social life, was based on this black and white. Once you change this, and
that was a speech by Joshua Nkomo in 1979, talking about, and he was talking about. They asked the journalist asked him, if Mugabe asked you to take to become the prime minister of the country, will you take it? He said, no, I'm not going to be just to be given like that, you know. And there are a lot of things where he says it's part of the research I did. So, guys, just tell me in your words. Anyone wants to be added, let me know so that I can add you there. You can be added and come in here. You know, share this video with your friends, share in other groups so that you know what. But when you come in here, let's not make this video a controversial video so that we become enemies of people. Let's just talk. Who was this Joshua Nkomo? Whereby everybody, wherever we go, they are talking about this man called Joshua Nkomo, Father Zimbabwe, Baba Zimbabwe. You know, anyone wants to come in, anyone wants to give us a call, let me know. If you want to give me a call, just type in add, then I'll add you. But you know what, guys? I did the research since yesterday about Joshua Nkomo. Why did I bring the topic of Joshua Nkomo? It has been nearly 20 years since the man died. And I remember I put an image of a political opposition in Zimbabwe, you know, not comparing with Joshua Nkomo, but I was just saying, you know, the boy or the man, you know, and the sticks I got from people, you know, close people, some they said, Philip, now you're playing with fire and whatever. I said, no. Listen, I have freedom of expression. And I've got freedom of expression, and it's my right to talk about the Joshua Nkomo. It's my right to talk about the Tumelizwe. It's my right to talk about the Tichaona. It's my right to talk about anyone, as long as I'm not abusing anybody. And some came to a point whereby they said you cannot compare a blah 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 with Joshua Nkomo. So I want to know what sort of a person that Joshua Nkomo is. Not, we are not supposed to compare him with other people, because me, I mean, I was young when the old man was dominating, when he was doing those things he was doing, and I am proud that yes, I saw him even with my, you know, that time of the, you know, when my age and whatever. I saw him. I remember when I was a young kid, I saw Joshua Nkomo. I think it was TM Hyper Woblawayo, you know, and my mother said, "Uyamazi Luana." Then I said, "I am." Then what? Nguyi Joshua Nkomo. You know, it was some, and apparently he didn't have this thing. Security, no skis and whatever, you know. Apparently, he was a shareholder of OK Zimbabwe with when I read, there was something where they are saying he had business partnership with Zopo of Maswingo. You know, they were so close. They had ranches in Mwenez and other things. That's why I was reading. But anyway, going back, when I listened to his speech, when he says, we need to stop this thing of Kuroba, we need people of Zimbabwe not to be divided. This thing of tribe must end. And that's where I realized that, oh, so those people who are talking about Joshua Nkomo, but why did they call him Father Zimbabwe? I want to know, so that, you know what, I will tell my grandchildren. You know, I want to know, why were they calling him Father Zimbabwe? Why Ubaba Zimbabwe? Why did they call him Joshua Nkomo Father Zimbabwe? Why was he called Father Zimbabwe? That is where I want to know. Why? And why did Joshua Nkomo agree? There's another one called, when it comes to opposition, Nkomo, to me, seemed like he was a unifier. Let me pin this instead of reading it. My question is, after reading about what happened to him, there's where I read that he sneaked from Zimbabwe to Botswana, something like that. He ran away for his life, and after running away, I don't know how far true it is. It says there were rumors that he ran away wearing a dress. They are saying there are rumors that he ran away from the country for, you know, wearing a dress. And then when I was reading there are some other gossips who says, what happened to Umangoi? You know, those are the, you know, I mean, maybe those were the things to make the story interesting. But I would have loved to bring the fathers of Joshua Nkomo, but I don't want to lie to you. I don't know them. I don't know them. I would have loved to bring people like Siposami Malunga, but I think, you know what, I didn't plan this way well properly to interview them. I would have loved to bring even the daughter of Dabengo, who lives in Botswana, and I would have loved to do that. The people who actually know, you know, the life of Joshua Nkomo, and it was going to be a nice one. But I know that we've got people who went to fight for Zipra. I know people who went to fight for Zipra under Joshua Nkomo. So I would love to hear from them. Basitshele ukuthi kathi yena ubaba uJoshua Nkomo umafukufuku. Yes, there was where I read about when they call him umafukufuku, they were talking about umafukufuku. So when it was referring to his body and whatever, but it was in a nice way of saying it, ubaba umafukufuku. So how come? Honest, it's true, Brother Philip. Father Nkomo was doing magic with his stick. How? Educate me. Accept my apology, guys. I'm eating because if I don't eat anything when I get so emotional. So, if this man Father Zimbabwe, Bamchaya Ikuin, what happened? What happened? Because when you read about the Lancaster House, there's where it says Nkomo was meant to take over. But the other side, and if you read about this story, you enjoy it. But I decided to say it together here. But it looks like people are not interested. It looks like people are not interested to talk about Father Zimbabwe. We would love to bring people live talking about Joshua Nkomo's legacy. Until where he was actually laid to rest. And looking at where he was laid to rest, and then the guy who brought that thing, Eros, he was not laid there. But let's not talk about it there. Let's just talk about him. And when I read about his party, ZAPU, PF ZAPU, it was not in Ndebele's only. And that tells you, by the time, things were so tough by the time. But he had people like Joseph Msikaban. And they were so strong, so strong. He didn't believe in any tribe. So, what happened after? That's why I want to know. And then we had no choice. We had to join the Unit Accord in 1987. We had to join the Unit Accord. What was the reason? What was the reason of that Unit Accord? What was the reason of that Unit Accord? When I read about it, it says I had to call Bongama Abafana, guys, we need to stop this. Who were these boys? We need to stop. So did he join the Unit Accord to save the lives of people? What was the Unit Accord? But when I read about the Unit Accord, here is on 87. Talk to me, guys, or else I'll end the broadcast. Who was Joshua Nkomo? What good did he bring to the country in Zimbabwe? What about if Joshua Nkomo was given the chance to be the president of Zimbabwe? What about if Joshua Nkomo was still alive today? If Joshua Nkomo was still alive today, he talks about the land issue so well. We need the land issue, but the land issue must be distributed equally. This thing of Kuroba must stop. This thing of Pasina Ningi must stop. That's what he was saying. Guys, it's a pity that all of you here watching, you don't have the history of Joshua Nkomo. So I'll do a research and get people who wants to come and talk about Joshua Nkomo. This man is too powerful for me to come in here and just talk on my own. I was expecting people to come and talk about Joshua Nkomo, but it looks like Joshua Nkomo, no one wants to talk about him. I hope you will talk about him next time when someone else comes. I invited people to come and talk about Joshua Nkomo. But those people I invited seem to be not bothered. Zed, I'll send you a link, but we'll finish quick. Let me just send Zed a link. Zed, let me send you a link, Sunny Boy. And then after that, we call it a day. Because no one wants to talk about Joshua Nkomo. Let me see. Who did I send the link to? Zed, I'll send you a link in a minute. Go to the Facebook, Zed. I've sent a link on Facebook. Anyone wants to come and talk about Joshua Nkomo, go to the Facebook, Zed, on my Facebook. I'm too young, just wanted to listen others talk so that I can learn. Yeah, I know. I know I'm fun. Zed, go to your Facebook. Go to the Facebook, Zed, and take the link and come in. We talk about Joshua Nkomo. Zed. Go to the Facebook. I've sent the link on my page. We talk about the life of Joshua Nkomo. And then we won't be staying here long, Zed. I've sent you a link. Come in there. I wanted people to talk about Joshua Nkomo, but it looks like not a lot of people want to come and talk about. Right, let me bring Zed. The only guy who wants to come in, my boy Zed.
So umfana akho kade sibaduma.
Awumfana phela Zed.
Unjani manobese?
Mana
Yabonga ukuthi
mana ngikho message le Zed. Zed.
Yabonga ukuthi ukhuluma ngomdala uNkomo.
Yeah, but Zed, it's a pity. Let me just say this to you, Zed. Let me tell you something, Zed.
Yes.
Sorry, Zed, don't get me wrong.
No, it's okay.
My brothers and sisters are a disgrace.
Yeah.
You know what? My brothers and sisters are a disgrace and cowards. You know what? We talk about someone, they talk so high. Today is 20 years when Joshua Nkomo died.
Yes.
There was no platform where they spoke about Joshua Nkomo today. I might be wrong.
No, I did.
Yes, I saw you. I saw you.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, then
Mhm.
instead of coming and talking about, you know what, immemorial or whatever of your someone you loved, your father, whoever, then you know, tell what, pathetic. Anyway, leave them.
Yeah.
Forget. I don't talk to what. That, tell us, young man.
Yo, madam.
Joshua Nkomo. Who was Joshua Nkomo?
He was an ordinary Zimbabwean.
He was an ordinary Zimbabwean.
An ordinary Zimbabwean and nothing special about him at all. Ungati, anything that made him special is after the fact. He was an ordinary Zimbabwean, not different from your father, not different from from my mother, not different from anyone of his generation at that time.
Okay. What
made him, or what we then think is different, is because a group of people that felt they had nothing, that felt that they had to turn around and request something from the regime that was ruling them at that time, decided that every single time when they gathered, he found himself as being the one that becomes the voice or the spearhead. Yeah? Becomes the channel that speaks. That's the only thing that then we can say his specialness started. Right? But anything else, he was an ordinary Zimbabwean that felt the need that his people cannot live in the state that they are in. That is what he was. Nothing special, madam. There is nothing that was special from your father, from your mother, from my father, from my mother. An ordinary Zimbabwean doing what you are doing now, talking about the Zimbabwean problems, and gathered people until the talking became action, and still talked to show you how much of a Zimbabwean he was, Malume. He sacrificed his own political party. No other political party in the history of Africa has done that.
No, none other.
No other. There is no one in the history of the world that has sacrificed their own political career, their own political party, to be eaten up by another political party. To show you that it's never been about politics. Never been about politics. It was about the freedom of the people. Not only the freedom of Zimbabweans, but not only the freedom of the black Zimbabweans, the freedom of even the white Zimbabweans. Right? From something that they were doing that they did not know that they were damaging other people, you are freeing them as well. From their own ukuganga kwabo. A only person, Malume, that turned around, you won't find any other political party before the one that they
Z ngabona kula muntu okufonelayo uthi I think buthi i-young generation ayimazi uNkomo bezwa oba bebala emabhukwini. How old are Z? Bayakubuza Z. Bayakubuza kulo mbuzo lapho owakho lapha. Look at that. Read that thing for you.
Yeah. Madam.
Kuthiwa khona I think buthi i-young generation ayimazi uNkomo bezwa obabala emabhukwini. How old are Z?
Young generation ayimazi uNkomo.
That's what they say. I mean, everyone has got a freedom of expression. Probably we are assuming which one. No, Z.
No. It's a question. It's a question that I'm posing.
Listen, remember, a lot of people, especially abantu beZipra laba, they used to attend rallies. Z.
Ndalele madam, I'm listening.
They used to attend rallies, so they probably know much better about Joshua Nkomo than me and you.
Yeah, madam.
Yes, they might know better than, but you know, you are a youth years up. Mina, I'm not. But me, I want to know, why is he called Father Zimbabwe?
Ungababuza bona laba abathi babekhona abasoze bekutshele ngoba babengekho. They do not follow his footsteps.
So why is he called Father Zimbabwe?
Because he behaved like a father to the Zimbabweans. Wayengaseparate abantwana bakhe. Abantwana bakhe being the ones that followed him. He did not separate, he did not love one a group of people more than the other. Uyangizwa malume Philip?
Yeah.
Njengawe wena abantwana bakho labo ungathandwe yiwani wedlula omunye. Antsho bakubiza bethi ngubaba.
Yes.
Therefore, what are the qualities of a father? A father turns around malume and sacrifices himself for the people.
Yeah.
A father turns around phandle ngale bekubize bethi Philip wena garden boy bekuhloze ekhanda. Wena uyakwazi ukuthi ulethani endlini for abantwana bakho ukuthi bekhona. There is nothing abantu babuya bethi because of his stature. There is nothing. There was no code indaba abanye bengazange bebize bethi ngoFather Zimbabwe ababe izidudla. Ubaba so size phela malume. Ubaba izenzo. Kanjalo? For yena uze bembize bethi ngubaba ngezenzo zakhe. Kanjalo? They could have chosen ukuthi ngumalume eZimbabwe. But umalume comes a bit smaller than ubaba. Ubaba, because he could turn around and stand for his abantwana bakhe omunye abanye abantwana ngabe bebephambanisa, he was there ukubakhuza equally. At one point malume iparty yakhe was the biggest political party in Zimbabwe ever.
So why did he win? Why did he win the presidency?
Yabona malume, politics is a funny game. Politics is a very funny game. Politics happens to yebo.
Yeah, it's a funny game party. So why did Mugabe win the election if his party was big in Zimbabwe? Because
Mugabe did something very bad.
The way people talk about Joshua Nkomo, my mother, the way my relative, every Zimbabwean, everybody, the way they talk about the Mashona, the Matebele, the Manika, everybody. So why did Joshua Nkomo not win that election in Zimbabwe? Why?
Because ZANU turned around and used its political wing as a campaign tool. ZANU yangenela abantu malume from eMashonaland eziyabamba eMathebeleland south, from north to south, from west to east. Ingenela abantu, ichaya abantu, iforsa abantu ukuthi bevote. ZAPU's headquarters was in offices eZAPU ayiseHarare. Ngakubalela mina abadala khathesi abalokho bekhuluma ukuthi bona they will never vote for anything else. Into iphatha abacinela ukuyivotela yona yiZAPU eMashonaland, you'll be shocked.
Yeah, I read ukuthi utshwana why uhlala eHatfield.
Yes, madam. Because at the end of the day, like any other father, uza separate njani abantwana bakho. Nkomo understood one thing, Glumes. Ngifuna ukutshela mina iqiniso. Nkomo understood one thing. He understood how the Rhodesian regime separated people. He understood that. He was a product of Pan-Africanism. Right? Mina ngifuna useparate abantwana malume ngelanda ongikazana ngithi laba abangabafana bayakuhlukumeza bathi wena ubuye upheke every single time. Kanjalo? Ngilanda abangabafana ngithi laba bayakuhlukumeza, ubaba bakho uyakuhlukumeza uthi wena ngofanele uhambe yenza ingadi, wena ufanelanga uyenza ingadi. Kanjalo? I separate them from young. Nkomo understood that to bring a country together, you have to turn around and solve ama problems on lana. Amanxeba ona lana wahlanganise kube one inxeba elisolve into eyi-one. And now you solve inxeba nona leli, you have to understand ukuthi i-problem esilayo thina tribal problem. He turned around Malume and stopped his own party from referring to each other as tribes. You could not. You could not point to you could not do that. Why Malume? Because he understands to build something we have to understand each other. Mina lawe Malume Philip siyafanana. Yikho kulama video abantu bajala ukwadlala ukuthi uNkomo sithi there is no tribes. There is no Shona tribe. There is no Ndebele tribe. There are groupings of people.
But if I can ask you yourself.
Yes.
I know that you are a junior of ZAPU, you yourself.
I am not a junior, madam.
Okay, you are a ZAPU anyway. You are a ZAPU yourself.
No, I am the vice chair of ZAPU Europe.
Yes, you are the vice chair of ZAPU Europe. But what
I am not a junior.
What I'm trying,
yes.
What I'm trying to ask you is, ama parents ukula, what were they telling you about Joshua Nkomo? That's what I want to ask you when you are growing up.
Mina, I'll answer you this way.
Yeah.
Ubaba comes from a family of over 70 sisters and brothers.
Okay. Yeah.
Ogogo mina ndabogogo abayi-9.
Okay. Yeah.
Every single one. Mina labo bhuti ababe kuZAPU, labo baba omdala, umama omdala, obaba o-auntie. The whole family is ZAPU blood. What my parents told me when I was growing up, Malume, is a very simple fact. Ubaba was in the bush. Abamaziyo yes ibizo uThonguzeti. Ngawuphuma a plum tree, you understand that name. Told me one simple fact. The journey is not yet finished. If freedom is not yet here, we had to sacrifice ourselves. We had to turn around and stop it so that you can survive and grow and continue the fight, because the fight is not yet finished. ZAPU is a party that is a liberation party. It is not a political party. If ZAPU was a political party, Malume, he would have turned around and did what ZANU did. If ZAPU was a political party, he would have turned around when Ikugrawundi started. He would have turned around and keep amasotsha abo ayikhona phandle kwelizwe bangenze phakathi kulwe kufiwe ithathe ilizwe. It is not a political party. It does not move on political basis. It moves on liberation basis. If you are liberated, therefore I will let my party die. That's why they were able to turn around and sacrifice their own ideologies, their own political party. There is no one today that can sacrifice their own political party. Lamusha. Akula muntu ongachi political party yakhe ngokulungisela ilizwe and let his political party die. ZAPU did that. And they did not do it abantu labana Malume with happiness. They did it with a heavy heart, but it was a price to pay, because they understood that anything that frees people, you have to pay the price. They were not stupid. Before ZAPU turned around and joined Unity Accord, they turned around and held a Congress. A simple question was based on that Congress. A simple question. Madoda sesifikele into enje. Abantu laba bathi bazayekela ukubulala abantu singahamba sejoin izanu. Abafuna ukujoina asambeni, abangafuni ukujoina akula problem, phumani. A lot turned around and did not go lomdala. Umdala did not turn around and put them and see them as bad people. He understood. Ungena ngenhliziyo Malume. Faith. And they did that. a sacrifice. The last sacrifice that Zapu did. On top of turning around and freeing people, the last sacrifice it was asked for, it did it.
But was it a good idea for Joshua Nkomo to join hands with ZANU-PF?
A very good idea.
Was it a good idea?
Yes.
What good was it?
It saved people's lives.
How did it save people's lives?
Bulawayo, Matabeleland was under a food embargo. In the midst of a drought. A food embargo, malume, we have sanctions kanjani. Bulawayo Matabeleland was under sanctions.
You're saying Mugabe was not feeding people of Matabeleland food.
Yes. Bulawayo was under sanctions. There was no food coming in. It was during a drought. On top of that, there were people being killed. So you had soldiers killing people. You had people starving. Yeah, you had a drought. You had no water. Right? This is the first time when the UN turned around and got into a Matabeleland and started feeding people. This is what no one talks about. Now we are placed, malume, to a point which abantwana bakho abasadli. Wena uzagijimisani i-political party kumuzagijimisa abantwana bakho bethu. As a parent. As a parent, malume.
I'll make my children eat.
He did that. He took the sacrifice for him to be blamed. Because at the end of the day, you could not watch your own kids die for your political ideology. Right? I just bizile ukhulumile wathi uthongwa ngufada Zimbabwe. Uyabona izinto zakho ndizikhambelana lokubani lokubaba. He was a great man, not by himself, even the ones underneath him. When he turned around and came in, malume, the ones ababesejeli odumiso Dabengwa, or look out, he had to turn around and be told to come into to ZANU, bengafuni, betshela ngobaba, and they listened and followed. And followed. Why? Because they were explained the simple fact. If you turn around and retaliate, more people will die. As long as you lose the party, we did not do that. War was not something we chose in Malume. War was a situational thing that came about. That came about from a situation, a reaction, a rotation government. Zapu was not formed to turn around and go to war. Kunjengokuthi wena malume ngawusendlini labantwana bakho uzisela lingela phansi usukumela phansi uthi yakubonisela litholi ingamu uyenzani atsho la yagijima edinga induku.
Yeah.
Does it mean ukuthi wena vele uthe ulala utshela abantu wena phandle wathi wena umuntu ongela lapho zambulala? But because usufikile a situation ukuthi uchayisane lesela wena emnyango lithwele ingamu uyakwazi kulabantwana phakathi la uyadinga malume to defend your kids. But akusakuthi ukuthi ngasoqedelane lesela lona leli umuntu osengena kona pana ebuya ezobuza wena suchanga enduku kuphela. Awuhlanye malume. Induku yafaka phansi anjalo. Because it's not you. Nkomo did the same and took induku yakhe wafaka phansi. Asisebenzeni sonkeni then. Ngayi ukuthi lifuna isebenzeni sonkeni. Anjalo. If you want a one-party state, let it be a one-party state, but feed people. If you're going to do exactly what I wanted to do, ngoba vele into ACA ade silwela ukuthi abantu bedle, abantu bengeyani, bele the future. If you are willing to do that, I'm willing to turn around and fake into yam pants. I'm willing to turn around and fake Zapu yam pants. Let's do that. Ngoba abantu vele into abayifunayo. Zapu was born malume from the needs of the people. Zapu was born from the needs of the people, malume. It was not born just for fun. It was not born for they want to turn around and rule Zimbabwe. No. The needs of the people is what born Zapu. abantu kuhlukumezwa kwabantu yiba abakhalela izaphu yiba abayenza bayakha izaphu bona abantu. Unkomo did not just come out and create izaphu and go around campaigning for abantu bebuye bezojoin izaphu. Have you ever seen campaign izaphu malume? No one has ever seen it. No one has ever seen unkomo turning around and saying sefake structure lapha sekambe siyadinga abantu. People were there already. Ask yourself why.
Why?
People were there. Why malume? Because abantu vele basebekhona. Ama-party ayesevaliwe wavalwa ama-party. They closed about 8 parties. ZAPU is just a version of parties that were closed before. At one point it was closed as well. It was called a caretaker party. It was closed, banned completely in Zimbabwe politics.
It was banned.
Yes, it was banned. At one point, malume, the leadership was taken and placed in prison. Thinking that they've turned around and buried ZAPU, but not knowing what is ZAPU, they've turned around and only buried seeds, malume. The moment you bury seeds, we are tapping in loose for the pansi. Do you know what happened when we were tapping malume? It grows. Ngafuthi inhlanyelo ingakhuli malume ifaka phandle elangeni. Bona babhayiza bathatha bagqibela. It grew and they could not understand why. Until they turned around and released them. But to show you that it was more than one person. The party moved on while the leadership was in prison. Party moved on.
The likes of Duviso Tabengo, the likes of Olukaut Masugu, the likes of
yazi malume, yazi ngakhuluma ngabantu labana yibo abafana bakaNkomo. Hayi? Ngakhuluma ngoLukaut Masugu malume uyakhuluma ngomuntu onganani? 32 years old. 32. Kadesu 32 years old when umfana omncane. Chief of staff malume. Amasotsha onke ayembona ayivina abantu abadala babemsaluta.
How old was he when he passed away?
I think he was 34 when he passed away, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get corrected by Abantu Abawazi, but he was in his 30s. Very young.
No, his children. I mean, I'm very close with them, but I was just asking.
We lost Malume. We lost a young man, a brilliant young man, and a lot of young people were lost. Right? Let me tell you one thing that ZAPU did. Abantu bangayazi. ZAPU ekhayelwa njenge terrorist outfit. Right? Malume, people that will never tell you. ZAPU had an F.
I can see you there. Yeah, I can see you. I can see you.
ZAPU had an Air Force. Does it make sense, Malume? No, he had an Air Force. ZAPU had I've got oput bami. Can't you? About tank regiment. ZAPU tank regiment. Malume ungeni ku tank regiment ungela ama tank. Uyabona? Awungeni ku Air Force yeZAPU ungela amaframa China. Right? ZAPU malume is the first liberation front with a female army. Ngoba tama picture jaruwabona kona omama labana bechaye ama kite army bemaja. ZAPU malume, yes, he had everything. He had a government while he was not even in government. 1976 to 1977, it was starting to turn around and take abantu malume administration to turn around and administer a country when the amakiwa enika abantu abamnyama uzbusi. Amanesi. Do you understand? Amanesi aphandle lapha abaningi esitshayisana labo mama bona lawa abasebekhulile. Umuntu ekutshela ukuthi wabuya eEngland ngabo 1960 something. ZAPU. ECuba kulabantu abekhaya malume beCuba uma abahamba khona ngale bangabodokotela 1960 something malume behamba bese yafundela ubudokotela awungeke uhlale phansi malume mina ngumfana wezapha one thing I love is ukuhlala phansi nabadala bezapha mina politics malume ngiyayazi but ngayihlezi labadala bezapha ngiyathula ngumfana omncane ku politics bayakutshela ngepolitics to a point ukuthi la uyamangala ukuthi kuhamba njani yayifundiswa malume ukurana i-country kakufundiswa kakufundiswa to a point ukuthi ungakhayela umuntu omnyama njengomuntu omnyama ungakhayela umuntu omnyama shona ndebele ungakwenzi khonoko
right. Z asibuyele ku Joshua Nkomo.
Yebo,
let's go back to Joshua Nkomo.
Yes,
ngoba ngiyakwazi ukuthi once you talk about ZAPU Z you become something else.
Joshua Nkomo is ZAPU, ZAPU is Joshua Nkomo.
Right, but my question about Joshua Nkomo is why didn't Joshua Nkomo why is it Joshua Nkomo you are not even allowed by some people to to compare him? I mean, I put an image of another political leader in Zimbabwe and compared him with Joshua Nkomo. I got some sticks about that.
I was one of those that gave you.
I know that.
Yes.
Why? What's so special about him? Why? You know what? If someone says to you, hey, Zeti, the way you play football, you remind me of Moses Chunga, you feel proud. Yeah?
Yes, but Moses Chunga does not feel proud.
Yeah, but so why are you assuming that Joshua Nkomo doesn't feel proud that me when I put so why don't you followers of Joshua Nkomo don't want us to say things like that? So you tell me why you are one of them. Why did someone actually say don't compare Joshua Nkomo with a donkey, which I nearly
No. You can't say that. You can't say that. That is a what thing was saying, Maluma?
I can't say what.
No. The person cannot say you can't compare Joshua Nkomo with a donkey. But we correct correct. For anyone to be compared to the Joshua Nkomo, you have to be able to have moved on similar footsteps. Same as ngayithatha njani into yakhona maluma ngithi mina ngase ngicompare wena lo babakho manje ngitshela abantu ababemazi ubabakho manje bekwazi lawe izenzo zakho bekwazi ukuthi izenzo zakho is not the same with ubabakho. Yes, you are your father's son, but awufanani lo mdala lo was great unless you are going to have the same sacrifice, the same concentration.
As Baba Zimbabwe. Why didn't you control Mugabe since, you know what? There are so many things I always ask a question. But when I read about him, he didn't tolerate it. But Mugabe continued. He abused. He continued. It about to disappear. But Nkomo Wayekona is a vice president. Why didn't you control him as a father of Zimbabwe? Sorry, guys. We are learning here. Why did you control Mugabe? Mugabe did bad things. Why didn't Joshua Nkomo Mugabe with his lovely language? Loko also wenza akwisiko. Why didn't he do that? Joshua Nkomo. They call him Father Zimbabwe. I enjoy when I read everything. I enjoy listening to his speeches. But what happened? So did he have a weakness as well, Ubabu Joshua Nkomo? Why did they call him Ubaba Zimbabwe? Why did he allow E-Unit Accord? Why did Joshua Nkomo allow Unit Accord to those people who were there by the time? Why did he allow E-Unit Accord? I want to know that. Joshua Nkomo died before the Kukurawondi issue was addressed. He went to work with the Mugabe. Did he talk to Mugabe and say, let's address this issue and apologize to those people who disappeared, who died? It's a pity that, you know what, it's a very, very sad story. It's a sad story, you know. Joshua Nkomo, after he has died, when the wife died to Mama Umafuyane, I have never heard even in ruling city. You know what? If birthday got Joshua Nkomo today to remember him and go and see the family, do they still do it? We saw Ama holiday Mugabe, birthday Mugabe 21 February. But he got Joshua Nkomo Zai Sibone, but my father Zimbabwe. Those are the things I want to know. But every political party in Zimbabwe talks about Joshua Nkomo. But recognition yake, when he was still alive, I never saw the recognition of Joshua Nkomo. I'm sorry, I never saw it. Today I saw the president sending a fantastic message talking about, you know what, Father Zimbabwe. They said, you know what, it touched me a lot. Then I saw another one from Nelson Chamisa. It touched me a lot. But why do you become a hero when you are dead? Hans Afawanaka. Joshua Nkomo left the kids. He has got grandchildren. But I've never heard I have never heard Usboniso Piruti, yes, that one I know. My brother was there in Zambia, was one of the commander, and our neighbor was Air Force pilot when coming back home in 1980. So my question is, if Joshua Nkomo was Father Zimbabwe, Esapila, were they still calling him Father Zimbabwe? But after the death of Joshua Nkomo, I mean, people started saying, you know what. But Ulabantwana, Ulabazulu, is the government recognizing Father Zimbabwe, the guy who brought independence in Zimbabwe? Because if Joshua Nkomo had refused to join up with Mugabe, a lot of people are going to die. People didn't die only in Matepeleland only. Baphela bantu. Immigrants, baphela bantu. But Nkomo said, no, let's sit down and talk. Became a hero. Same as Nelson Mandela when he came out of jail in 1994. My comparison might be different. Mandela is a hero. Joshua Nkomo is a hero. But do we recognize who hero back? I'm a young boy who wants to know. Because I have seen people tell Mdala Nkomo. Saka tiwudze kuti Mdala Nkomo amnogara muchitaura kuti Mdala Nkomo. haikona ngotaura pasocial media kuti Mudhara Nkomo tiudzei kuti Mudhara Nkomo anga ari munhu akaita seiko, isu vana tizivewo tozodzidzisa vana vedu kuti Mudhara Nkomo anga ari munhu akaita sei. Mudhara Nkomo wayengayenzi. There is Njabulo. Uti, we saw his vision. He was miles ahead of Zimbabwe politics. He had a vision with the likes of Nelson Mandela, a man who didn't see race or tribe in Zimbabwe. Yes, I played an audio of Joshua Nkomo talking about that in Njabulo. But my question is, what happened? What happened? Because there was a Joshua Nkomo when they left Lancaster. He was meant to be the president of Zimbabwe. But what happened there? That's what I want to know. What happened? Come on, guys. I've got 10 minutes to finish this program. I'll go back to the question. For those boys, abahambayo besiyalwela uNkomo abe Zipra, are they still getting who brought that independence in Zimbabwe? Zipra, are they still getting entitlement to bring the country back with independence? I don't know. Njabuli, what is your number? Njabuli number at your ears. Let me write a number for you, Njabuli. 1 second. Let me give you the number, Njabulu. Right, Njabulu party number lay pants. Okay. 1 second. Let me ipali pants in Njabulu. I cannot write it. I'll give you the number. Nancy number 079. Bala pants in Njabulu 079 04 98 08 77 079 04 98 08 77. Someone says that one is a long story. How can it be a long story? I want to hear the long story. I love long stories. Thank you so much, Marcelo. I went up on one bed. I want to hear the long stories. Because people are so good on talking on social media and say, Mudhara Nkomo akaipa. Because did Joshua Nkomo let down his people from Zipra by accepting? He united us. We grew up tonight with a peace. In Zimbabwe, there is peace today. I mean, when I grew up, there was a bit of peace. So he brought that. But where his people happy. Manje lapha ke sengizithelile semfake bona ngokwabo civic ondumi. Ndumi. Unjabulo, uthi Njabulo. Njabulo, asihlali kakhulu la. Akuntshele Jahel Dala, you are my generation, but your parents or whoever, they told you more. Who was Joshua Nkomo? Why umuntu onja?
Well, I wouldn't say about that, but I wouldn't have gone because I was there.
Yeah.
And lucky enough, I was lucky, I was in member family, and then we were close to family of Norman Mapena,
yeah.
So is up. Yeah,
okay. I was telling. Today we are not talking about ZAP, we are talking about Joshua Nkomo himself. Why are umuntu onjani about Joshua Nkomo? What sort of a man was he?
According to his history, according to he was a man or a vision in Zimbabwe. He was a man who wanted to liberate Ilizwe. He didn't want to divide Abantu. He wanted to empower Abantu, not according to race, tribe, or gender. He wanted to be an inclusive leader. His vision was so focused without Ilizwe, he knew what he wanted. Because when they went to war, they were not only fighting for Amar rights, they were fighting for Iland, lama freedoms. In politics, freedom. In social settings, freedom. In economic sector, freedom. In cultural, to do their own culture. Not only on the side of Ndebele, but in any other province of Zimbabwe. So he wanted a free and fair democratic state.
And then what happened?
Well, it started looking more complicated. From Zambia to Mozambique, what we call a struggle within a struggle. A struggle within a struggle is enemy one, during the struggle.
Like what is happening now in Zimbabwe?
Yes, because that court, I struggle within a struggle. There is struggle within a struggle that whereby they were eliminating each other for in power. But I think according to information Mugabe was not going to be the leader then. Because Utongokara they wanted to go in Zimbabwe Patriotic Front. Of which Robert Mugabe, we are divide and rule. What is it now? We are going season. So he saw, I think he was a little bit clever. He saw with the population, have a promotion population took advantage and used against Nkomo. Of which since then, Zimbabwe has never tested freedom.
So my question, another question is, was it a good thing for Joshua Nkomo to join hands with E-Unit Accord?
Because really, I was young by then. It was up to him because the situation in my young. But Nkomo, one thing you need to put in your mind, which he was a nation builder.
Okay.
He didn't go. I think he was like sort of Otobokara. They didn't go to fight with Ivo. No, I'm a nation builder. That one. There was nothing wrong if they really meant to even Unity Accord. But the Bonke, they were progressive. And he was even clear. You can see his video clips. He wanted to with Amapolis and Amasocha and Amase over the political.
You say that. Yes, I saw that.
So the guy knew when what is government? What is government? How do you govern? When it's on they changed those departments, army, police, CIO into a party entity. We're not going to like each other. It's unfair for state. How much is unfair for state? It's unfair for Gungela army. It's gone. If the army must remain apolitical. And I found it strange. Abantu abanjengabo Obama, Valerie Sibanda, ngengambone ekhuluma. He knows ukuthi babetshelwani bekhula bese Zambia betrainwa behamba kuseRussia. He knows how to govern the country, but because of corruption, you evidence that is very aligned to the political party. ZANU-PF is as good as dead, but the army is keeping them alive.
So, if I can ask you my last question, if I can ask you my last question, let's just say Joshua Nkomo had a chance of becoming the president of Zimbabwe. I mean, we are just assuming. What sort of a country do you think Zimbabwe will be?
Well, maybe we might be even be better than South Africa. But I don't think what he was going to allow India I don't think. As long as you're productive, as long as you obey the rules and the laws of the country, I don't think he was going to target you. And I don't think, as old as he was going to serve more than 2 terms. I think like he was going to ask the 1 or 2 terms. Actually,
But do you regret at your age when Joshua Nkomo died before you were? I mean, you were still growing up. Do you wish you wish you were there by that time?
I don't regret. I'm only ashamed of our brothers who are in the struggle, especially at our age. People who are fighting for power instead of fighting for the people. People who are betrayed, people at a crucial time. But into a paradigm link, books, they are there for us to learn. They are not there for us to repeat it. Maybe not even the same mistakes, worse mistakes. History books are there for us to learn and do better. That's why sometimes when I go on my own platform, I hear about the city shown and Devele. I found it strange. Which way to get it? That thing was created by Robert Mugabe, and now you can't go and repeat the same thing with the Amashumi was on. You need to be better, more inclusive. This is where I found it strange with the Amama politicians, especially our Zimbabwe. They don't learn. If you learn to do better than other ones today, or to do the same than to hit below the belt, always.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. That is my brother, Ujex. Lawyers in politics over Malcolm, a very, very good young boy. Guys, thank you so much. I don't want to stay here so long. I just wanted us to enjoy and talk about Ubaba Joshua Nkomo. This video, you can put your comments as much as you can. The topic is already there. Just put your comments, share the video and share, and we'll be reading the comments. My comments, they can be there until I don't know. So listen, Ubaba Joshua Nkomo wayengumuntu onjani? And do you actually wish ukuthi ngabe lawe wakhula ngesikhathi uJoshua Nkomo ekhona? And you know what? And listen ukuthi some people probably they are afraid to come in. Just write your comments. We appreciate your comments. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Philip Sibanda, the Air Marshal Commander. I've got so much respect for you. Right, coming up on Monday, on the 6th of July, we are launching a radio station for Africa. We are launching a new radio station with 54 presenters from Africa. This radio station involves all African countries. So please, if you want to be part of the, want to be part of the team, let us know so that we can try. We are trying to get, youngsters in different parts, Binga, Plumtree, you are trying to get some youngsters so that new generation. We want to get people from Rua, so if you want to be part of our team, get in touch with me, Philip Sibanda, or Mkoma Eric Knight. We are launching the radio on Monday. We'll be broadcasting probably on Facebook on Monday all day. So please come in and we enjoy together. Today, this was a topic about our father, Ubaba Joshua Nkomo, the late and the great Father Zimbabwe Joshua Nkomo. We just wanted to hear Ubaba Joshua Nkomo. I want to take the opportunity to inject those about and the others who call comments about lovely comments. But the video is there. Share the video with your friends in all platforms so that we can read the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my other thing is, if anyone okwazi ukuthi ibhuku lika uJoshua Nkomo litholakala ngaphi, kana uchiziwa pathinga wana bhuku baba Joshua Nkomo, let us know. Please funa ukuthi lathi silithenge silibale kahle singayenza ukwenza research, so that if you know where we can buy the book for Joshua Nkomo, let us know. We also want to buy the book. Probably we can do a live broadcast reading about the book all day, reading about the book of every certain day. We read up to certain pages, so that people can know about the history of Ubaba uJoshua Nkomo. Ndina kuthenda izikhulu ngiyalibonga kakhulu. Mazita rangu nonze Philip Simanda. Igama lami kuthiwa Philip Simanda. Let's meet again on the other programs. Probably I'll meet you on Monday when we do a launch of our radio station, Radio Africa Panorama, Radio 54 African Panorama. Let's meet on Monday. Have a good night. I love you so much. From the voice of the Air Marshal Commander Muzibate Asimsa Zibata Pauro. This Bambe. Good night. I love you. Bye bye.